is no other than the former Deputy Bank of Ghana. And you two will let two a war, a battle, rally mates, the tuning against His Excellency now, President Nana Abudan Bakufa Tuni, now by the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Ni acting president. When Vice President Lutumo Etu le Kevin Jene, the NPP, a wall a flag bearer and leader, a war His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, and by the divine grace of the Almighty God, Kevin Wamo, our next President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Muhammad.
The acting president, shall we now have your opening remarks?
Vice President, we have been I found him. I get the hand very often. Again, in the Kali, I saw a woman in the lady. She is by the only and that will be the books and powerful. It was one. In modern born no hand say I clash few. But I think the back of my thing. Then what a clash is. She, if you many thought it be a little about you, the hero of you. You can't pass it, you will come with you. Young or family don't believe that she will be after that. After all, what we your candidate a little book, they was on the platform. I don't want to
so check is that.
check
Around 11:07 or so. The Bible. Say what?
Your Excellency.
I remember the name. I remember it.
Honorable Asamoah Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Honorable Titus Grover, Regional Minister, Greater Accra, National and Regional Executives, Nene, our noble permanents, representatives from our various traditional councils, members of the press, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. On behalf of my President of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, members of the House, staff, and the good people of the Greater Accra region, we bring warm greetings and felicitations to you all. On this occasion of your visit to our house, we wish to officially congratulate you, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Bawumia, on your successful election as the flag bearer of the new Patriotic Party for the upcoming 2024 general elections. As we gather here to listen to His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, on what his leadership vision is or will be, should the electors vote for him to become the next President of Ghana. It is our firm belief that someday, if you measure your words now vis-a-vis your actions, the decisions and conducts. Later, when you become the president, you will soar higher compared to what we have heard or seen in the past. There has been some rumors circulating around in the media and even from your own political party that Dr. Bawumia will be a pushover. Even when he becomes the president, we dare to make a wide guess of why they think so. It is because of your calm, gentle, and polite disposition. We said before emphasis that when it comes to effective leadership, you don't have to be radical, violent, or pompous to be a bold leader. Being a bold leader is not about brows, rather brains. Having observed you from afar, we believe you have a lot of pleasures to offer this country. Do not disappoint, because your records will always be there. They will be used to evaluate you. On selfless leadership, we have less to say about you. Your Excellency, you are an accomplished man. You are a successful man. Therefore, we are convinced you will not fail the test when it comes to selfless leadership. However, the challenge of most political leaders in Ghana and Africa at large when it comes to selfless leadership is their appointees, the party folks and the followers. While the leader may be content with what he or she has personally achieved and what the state provides, the appointees and political handlers wantonly grab and lose the insufficient state resources. This is the test we will want to see whether you will fail or pass. We shall all be watching you from a distance. You are not counted among veteran politicians, but you have had the privilege of working with one in the person of the President, His Excellency, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. With your unique abilities and vision, coupled with the rich experience you've had in work so far, you can make a huge positive difference in our political leadership. It is possible. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, members of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs are calling on you to observe and act on the following. 1. Greater Accra Region is the capital city of Ghana. 2. Greater Accra Region is the gateway to Ghana. 3. Greater Accra Region is the seat of every government. 4. Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs represents the whole Greater Accra region. 5. Greater Accra region is not just a cosmopolitan. It's a region having its indigenous called Ghanaians. Most of our lands have been acquired by government for various purposes. These are all branded on our lands. The castle, the Jubilee House, the Parliament House, Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority, American Port Services, various courts up to Supreme Court, all headquarters of our security services, various ministries, Bank of Ghana, Kotoka International Airport, the only international airport in Ghana, and many more. In return, what has been benefited? Think about this. The members of the House and the good people of the entire region will be much appreciated if whatever you think befits the capital region will be put in your manifesto. Submit it to the regional house for our comments before election. If indeed this regional house represents the whole Greater Accra region with all its companies, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, just take a look around and see it yourself. Government comes, makes money out of the region. Government goes without doing anything for the region. These dynamics must change before it's too late. Let me take this opportunity to bring to the attention of His Excellency the plight of the councils or the lawyers attached to various houses of chiefs. These lawyers who assist the judicial committees of the houses of chiefs to advocate on chieftaincy matter do not have conditions of service. They do not. They face challenges assessing their benefits upon retirement. The lawyers of the houses of chiefs are supposed to be allocated official vehicles to perform their statutory functions. Unfortunately, they have not been provided these vehicles. It will be appreciated if these challenges and problems facing our councils shall be addressed as soon as possible for them to discharge their duties selflessly. Ending our submission, we wish to quote our selfless admonition to you. Maintain the selfless leader you are, and let it reflect in your apprentice Sunday when you become the President of the Republic of Ghana. Your work has already been evaluated as a person. Your intellectual abilities, what you have achieved before and intend to achieve as a fellow, and to the political party you represent, and for Ghana as a whole, is what Ghanaians are looking at to cast their votes. We wish you good luck in all your endeavors. God bless you and thank you.
Another round of applause for At this point, we'll kindly invite the Minister for Chieftaincy to bring some few remarks and invite His Excellency, the Vice President.
Thank you very much. His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, and the flag bearer of the new patriotic party, permits me Professor Delphio Bolenchi and the Vice President of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, and currently acting President of the Regional House of Chiefs, and revered Paramount Chiefs, our Queen Mothers, Paramount Queen Mothers, who are beautifully blessed today, and the representatives of other Paramount Chiefs who are here, Nime, Kaname, Wipo, and my colleagues, media, and I stand on existing protocols. Mine is just a brief comment, and I would follow up by inviting the Vice President to speak. First of all, I render sincere apologies, very sincere apologies to yourself and your colleagues for the late arrival. I spoke to my registrar and also spoke to you. We do apologize. The delay sometimes occurs because when you're on this journey, you've got to take your time. It doesn't matter what time you start to listen. So there were delays in other programs that we started with. Once again, I hold your legs and I apologize. But, Mr. Acting President, we are also very grateful for the time you've taken to be here with us. It's not easy to prepare yourself and at a short notice to come and meet us. I know almost showed in the palaces. So we are very so grateful for you to be here. It shows your commitment to help partner with government for the development of the Greater Accra region and Ghana as a whole. Indeed, we are grateful for your role you played, especially since I became the minister We've had a very cordial relationship. I myself have been personally involved in a lot of things that you've done in Nongwa and in other paramount seats. And I must commend you for the unity that you are trying to bring within the House. I know the numerous issues to come, but you have pulled your quality together, and I believe those areas will help you to resolve very quick. In terms of other things with the chief executive, my boss would comment on some of them for your hearing. He set out his manifesto with him, and we've met the National House of Chiefs, including some ideas that have come from the regions, and he would expand on them later on. I would help him and my colleagues so that your requirements and needs are addressed. But, Acting President, what we seek to do today is to seek for blessings in the House. I'm not sure whether this is going to be the case when my boss starts speaking. I thank you. Thank you. This is where I'm standing. Hello? Yep. So, as I said, we are very grateful for all the help you're giving to us. We believe the partnership between government and the chieftaincy institution will be deepening further. Indeed, he is from the royal house or royal palace, as I also do, and we do appreciate your efforts to help the country develop. There are peculiar issues in Greater Accra, which is the seat of government, and all government institutions are here. So he will take into account and address them. But on that note, I wish to, in all humility, and I also let me just say a little bit, you touched on it. Our leader and flag bearer is very friendly, is very relaxed in terms of trying to listen to all of us and people we come across. He's very fair. His disposition, sometimes you see he's a very fair person, and he's able to accommodate all of us and all ideas. He listens a lot, but when he makes a decision, it's very fair. And I believe, we all believe, coming from his background, he will be a good leader. And we are proud to have him around. And on that note, I humbly and with all due respect invite the need I say will speak a little bit. It's my younger brother, but when I speak the English, he will speak the Ghana. And he has to teach me. If he doesn't teach me, me and him have to fight. So he say something before you write the boss. Thank you. I think you want to start here, otherwise you will never get the microphone to work. Try it.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, and the flag bearer of the new political party, the acting President of the Regional House of Chiefs, and the President of the World Traditional Council, I want to rely on existing protocols for the sake of time, so I will yield to the Vice President to proceed. Mayuga, Jagashi, Obakandami, Manchamachu, Oblofua, Obayuwa, Generalist Yakuni, Amina. Nime Name, Obaka, Kobe, she opened. Mene, what for? Ni wọ́n bá ní jẹ́ jọ́mọ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àgbọ̀mọ́ kò bẹ́ẹ̀ ní ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀fẹ́ náà ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀yìn lónìí jàdí ìlú èdè ìbápa nígbà wọ́n acting president àkẹ́ attribute ní òwe yẹ vice president ní ma ṣúṣì politics ẹ̀ náà fi ọ̀ àkẹ́ nàjọ́ lẹ́yìn àkẹ́ ìṣìbá. Manabua, one more track than me, the Ghana, Okash. The fragile age. Now, Vice President, they are so shy. president, the Asia. Company fire. The BP, the president, the BFA. I can remember his name about. If you have a legend. The legend, I just. Acting president of the Chukwu for year. I can get that one in the the war, Sanapakodi, Amachu, Ecobrani, Imodroma. That way, Odio, Ludio. Never president, they can find me. Whenever we are again, to Fafon. Now, then, no, again, you are there. What day active president came? I mean, my Tasmania. The moment you want the who the hustle work 1 million currencies. Work a summer, no one can do this. No one will even. Then I say, when you are the Dakakaimo, the blow, Bokune, what to manage. Vice President, NPP, on the Excellency.
Thank you very much, Regional Minister. Buade King Professor Odafio Walechi III, our revered Paramount Chiefs here present, Paramount Queen Mothers, our representatives of the various traditional councils, Willame, here present, Nime, Name, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm most privileged, most honored to be before the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs today I thank you all very, very, very much for making the time to be here. I even hear from what the regional minister tells me that some of you were here as early as 8 this morning, and you've had to sit all this while. I think there was a misinformation for us, and then also delays that came in. So, we are very, very sorry for coming this late. I don't normally go late for meetings. It's not my style. And so I'm most sorry for the delays that have come in. And so I will beg, and I know that the acting president has already begged on our behalf. And I want to thank him very, very much for that. I am here as the flag bearer and presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party. And I have started going around the country as I'm putting my manifesto together. I am meeting all the key stakeholders in the regions as I am going to listen to the people, because God does not put wisdom on only one man's head, puts it all across the country. And so if you are a leader, you have to understand what is worrying the people, what it is that they want you to do for them, and not just come out and say, this is what I'm going to do for you without consultation. And this is why I am going around the country, and I have come to Greater Accra region, where I am also here and living in the region. I know that ultimately God chooses leaders for countries. And I know as chiefs, my beliefs and our tradition, that you, the chiefs, are closer to God than we are. And so when you pray, they listen. And so I am here, first of all, today as part of my Greater Accra regional tour, which I'm doing today and tomorrow. First of all, I cannot start moving around and doing many things without first coming here to ask permission, to ask for your blessings, and to ask for your prayers for the task that I am embarked upon. I have come a long way to be here today, standing before you. When I look back, I can only thank God. I have been a by-day worker on the farm. I have been a cleaner of dormitories. I have been a taxi driver before. I have been a warehouse boy. I used to carry boxes very well. I have been a teacher. I have been a professor. I have been a deputy governor of the central bank. In August 2008, I was given 24 hours to make a decision whether I will accept a running mate position to enter politics. I was really not intending in my life ever to enter politics, but I had 24 hours in August 2008 to make the decision. I prayed a lot about it. In fact, that night I didn't sleep because I needed to make the decision the next day. And I agreed to come in the next day to join politics. And after 3 elections, 2016, God's favor was shown upon us, and we won the election in 2016, and I became vice president in 2017. And so when I look back at my life, I can only thank God for what has happened, for how far He has brought me. And today, as I am here to let you know that I am the flag bearer. Even getting here as flag bearer was not easy within our party. When I decided to contest for flag bearer position. Many people said it will not happen because I am from a minority tribe in the country. And if you look at our party over the years, we have only presented Akan leaders for our party. So many people were almost labeling us as an Akan party, even though it wasn't the case. So what? I am from a minority tribe from the north. I also happen to be Muslim. And so they said that, look, when you look at the mathematics, the NPP electorate, largely Akan, largely Christian, they are not going to vote for you, to a minority, to come and lead the party. And this is the battle that we were fighting. But I was very confident. I said, if by the grace of God, God says I should lead the party, I will lead the party. It will make it possible. And that is why I continued that battle. And by the grace of God, God made it possible. And I won the election to be leader of the NPP. And this is why my campaign slogan is that with God, it is possible. With God, it is possible. I believe that we should all think in the realm of possibilities. And God can use anybody to change a country. You look at the story of the Bible, and you have Cyrus. Cyrus did not know God, but God used him to change the welfare of the people of Israel. God used him. I come from a family, my father had 17 surviving children. He wasn't playing. We are 17 who are surviving. But it's an interesting situation I grew up in, because 9 of my brothers and sisters were Christian and 8 of us were Muslim. The same family. So we had both the Bible and the Quran in the house. And so religious tolerance for me started right from childhood. I was a member of the Methodist Boys Brigade as a child. Today, I'm a vice president. I am a Muslim, but I am the patron of the Methodist Boys Brigade of Ghana. So, I believe in tolerance, I believe in respect for everybody. And this is why I believe that I can bring this nation together. We are a very peaceful nation, and we can continue with that peace. The reason why the NPP voted for me to lead the party was likely because of how much work I had done. As the acting president has said already, that my work spoke for me. They looked at my work and what I had done for this country as vice president. And they said that they are not going to vote on the basis of religion or tribe, they are going to vote on the basis of competence. And they voted for me on the basis of what I had done. I had very, very keen interest in education, because when I looked at how countries such as South Korea have progressed, the Asian tigers, the key was education. Key was education. And so this is why I was pushing very hard from the beginning, before we came into office, for the implementation of the free senior high school education. Because every economic statistic for development says that at the end of the day, the education levels, especially at the tertiary level, makes a big difference. South Korea has a tertiary enrollment rate of 94%. That's very, very high. Ghana has 14%. So the gap is very high. So how do we get our children into the tertiary education? First, you have to get them out of senior high school. Without that, they won't get it. So the free senior high school education was to help us get our children up into tertiary and also get education. Acting President Nime Name, the free senior high school education has worked a lot for us. When we came into office, only 800,000 students were in senior high school. So from independence to 2016, we ended with 800,000 after 60 years of independence. 800,000 in senior high school. When we implemented the free senior high school, after 7 years in 2023, we have moved from 800,000 to 1.4 million students in senior high school. So after 60 years, we had 800,000, and in 7 years, we added 600,000. That is 75% increase. And so many people who could not go to senior high school suddenly had an opportunity. They can now afford to because it was free. And then the performance also has gone up. The core 6 subjects in senior high school WACC examination, the pass rate was 41% in 2016. Today is 64%, the core subjects. So the performance has gone up. And what gladdens my heart also is that more girls are going to senior high school than boys. Today, in 2016, for every 100 girls, every 100 boys, there were 68 girls. Today, for every 100 boys, there are 106 girls. So the girls have taken over in that sense, and it's a good sign for us. I've also been able, as Vice President, to focus on making Ghana ready for the 4th Industrial Revolution, the digital age. That is very, very important. I wrote a book in 2010, that is before I became Vice President. I wrote a book saying that Africa and Ghana as a whole needs to start getting ready for the 4th Industrial Revolution, otherwise we will miss it. It is the digital age, and we have to be part of it. And so, over the last 7 years, I have been focusing on solving a lot of problems by making sure Ghana doesn't fall behind in the digital age. I thought that it was important to even do things that had not been done in the advanced countries. And so, the first thing that we needed to do was to get digital identity, the Ghana card. Many advanced countries in the world have not yet had digital identity. The European Union is asking all the EU countries to issue the Ghana card equivalent by 2030. They've given all their countries up to 2030 to issue it. The United States of America has not yet started. They have now started discussing to issue the digital ID in the United States. But we have come into office, we've issued digital IDs. Almost 18 million of Ghana cards have been issued. And not only have we done it for the adults, now even for babies who are born in Ghana today, if you take the baby from a weigh-in at the hospital, weigh-in, the baby is going to be given 2 identities, the Ghana card ID and the birth certificate ID at the same time. I believe we are the only country in the whole world that is able to do this, because we have integrated the database of the NIA with the Ghana Health Service, with the births and deaths registry. And so we are able to issue the babies the Ghana card ID and the birth certificate ID at the same time. On the 17th of June, that is this month, we will start going to the schools in the whole of Ghana to issue the children from 6 years all the way to 15 their Ghana card IDs. So we will have everybody covered from babies to the school children to the adults. And this is something which is very, very important for us. The Ghana card ID, it has helped us deal with corruption in the payroll. The ghost worker problem was a big problem, acting president. Big problem. So I brought the suggestion that every government worker should be linked to their Ghana card. Why? Because every Ghana card has the fingerprints of the worker. But ghosts don't have fingerprints. So once we linked the Ghana card number to the workers, the ghosts all ran away. So in the national service, we found 44,000 ghost workers. That's one place, national service, 44,000. They disappeared when we linked the Ghana card to the workers. We saved 420 million Ghana cedis. Just at one place. We went to Senate. We found 29,000 ghost pensions. We saved over 300 million Ghana cedis. Two institutions alone, almost 750 million. Just two of savings. And we've cleaned the whole payroll of the Controller and Accountant General. So today, thanks to the Ghana card, we can say we've solved the problem of ghost workers in Ghana. The Ghana card has also become your tax identification number. It has become your SNP number. It has become your national health insurance number. We have even linked the Ghana card to the ICAO database. ICAO stands for International Civil Aviation Organization, which is in Canada. We took the Ghana card, everything to Montreal. It went through all the rigorous testing. And now it is part of the ICAO system. It means that if any Ghanaian, and it has happened to many Ghanaians now, goes abroad and your passport gets missing, you can take your Ghana card and board a plane and come back to Ghana. It will be accepted in 44,000 airports and border entries in the world, because it is now part of the ICAO system. We are one of the few countries in the world whose identity card, digital ID card, is part of the ICAO system. And before the end of this year, we are opening the e-gates at the Kotoka International Airport, the electronic gates. It means if you are a Ghanaian and you arrive at Kotoka International Airport, you no longer need to go to immigration. You go to the e-gates, put your Ghana card, it will open, and you enter the country. And so this is what we have done. The next thing I worked on was on the issue of financial access to financial services, bank accounts, and so on. Only 30% of our population had a bank account. 30%. The rest of us had Momo numbers, Momo accounts. But the Momo accounts were only internal, because if you had an MTN Momo account, you couldn't send money to Vodafone. You could only send money to someone who was MTN. And you couldn't send money to a bank account. And no bank account could send money to a Momo account. So I called all the telcos and I said, we want to do what we call mobile money interoperability, so that we can send money across the networks. I called the banks, I said, you also have to be part of it. We'll be able to send money from a Momo account to a bank account and vice versa. Initially, they were resisting, but I stood very firm. Some of them I called their bosses in South Africa and brought them here, and we had a meeting. I said, this is where Ghana wants to go. It had never been done in Africa, never. But we insisted, and today you can send Momo from your bank to the Momo account. You can send funds. You can send from one MTN to Telecel, from Telecel to Tigo. This is all done. And today, when they send you remittance from abroad, it comes onto your mobile phone. You no longer need to go to Western Union. And Ghana is the first country in the whole of Africa to do mobile money interoperability. The first country in the whole of Africa. And they haven't done it in the United States. They haven't done it in Canada. They haven't done it in the UK. We are ahead of them. This is why I say it is possible for us to move ahead of some of these advanced countries in some of these areas. The other area I looked at was our address system. We did not have a working and a functional national address system in Ghana. If you wanted to find something, you have to say, when you get here, you see a cocoa seller on the right, and take the right, you see the blue house, and take the left, the big tree, and if you are not lucky and the cocoa seller doesn't come out, you are in trouble. And so we said that you can't, any modern economy must have an address system. Today, if you go to US, Canada, Germany, and you collapse their address system, just the address system, the economy will grind to a halt. Nothing will work. But everything depends on addresses. So we needed to find a solution. After 60 years of independence, we didn't have an address system. And I said, look, today's world, we have GPS technology. Let us move to the digital address system so that everywhere will have an address. Whether you are living in Nima, or you're living in East Legon, you're living in Tamale, or you're living in Wau, or essentially everywhere in Ghana will have, every location, every property will have an address system. So we implemented the digital address system in Ghana, and it has now been done. It is working very well today. If someone is coming to your house, you just have to give them your digital address. Don't drive there. There's no issue anymore. You don't need the cocoa seller to be out at that time, and you will go. And Ghana, our own dear country, is only the second country in the whole world to implement a national digital address system. The whole world, we are the second country to do so, and it is helping prepare us for that. We also have brought in one of the things that is really helping across Ghana now, which is drones to deliver medicine. Drones, medical drone delivery. I had a personal experience, one in September 2002, when my father had an operation in Tamale, and we needed blood that night. That night, he was bleeding. We rushed to the blood bank. It was locked. We tried to get the person who operated the blood, he was gone. We couldn't find him. We tried different numbers. We couldn't find him. Before the morning, my father had died. So it stuck with me. And when I heard that, this is after I became vice president, I heard there was a company in San Francisco called Zipline Drones. I read about what they had done and that they were delivering medicine to the remote parts of different countries, and that technology allows delivery of blood. If a pregnant mother is giving birth and losing blood, you can bring medicine quickly. A snake bite on the farm, you need anti-snake serum very quickly. The drones can bring it in and all of that. So I said, no, if this technology was there, my father probably would have been alive. We would have had blood delivered as quickly as possible. So I took a team and we went to San Francisco, and I went to meet the founder of the drone services. And I said, I want you to come to Ghana and establish in Ghana. After some discussion, he agreed that he will visit Ghana. 2 weeks later, he was here. And then we have established 6 medical drone delivery centers so far in Ghana. We are delivering to 2,800 health facilities. Every day, each of the centers does an average of about 100 flights. And it is being managed, 100% managed by Ghanaians. 100% managed by Ghanaians. No white person is there doing it for us. Our young men and women are managing the drone deliveries. And we are saving lives every day. But what is so interesting about this story is that today, in the context of the whole world, Ghana is the largest medical drone delivery service in the whole world. We have taken the lead. And what is interesting, acting president, Nime Name, 2 months ago or so, 2 months ago, the company that we went to bring this technology from in the world were looking to hire somebody. They did, and they came to Ghana to hire one of our Ghanaians to take it to San Francisco to lead a team on medical drone flight operations in San Francisco. Amazing. But Ghana has now taken the lead in there. We are also networking our hospitals. One of the biggest problems in our hospitals is medical records. You can go and ask for your folder and they'll tell you it's missing. They've not found it. Your whole medical history cannot be found. So we have said that we will digitalize all the medical records, in all the hospitals, clinics, CHIPS compounds, everything, and network all the hospitals so that they can talk to each other. And we did that for all the teaching hospitals complete, all the regional hospitals complete, all the district hospitals complete. So today, if they refer you from Dodowa to Kolebu, you no longer need to take your folder to Kolebu. Just take your ID number. You get to Kolebu, once they enter it, all your medical records will be showing right now for the doctors to act. So by next year, we hope that we would have covered every hospital, clinic, and CHIPS compounds for all of this. And it is going to really continue to help us in there. Today, if you are at home, you can buy electricity with your mobile phone, because we digitalized the electricity purchase program on your mobile phone. Even if you are not in Ghana, you are in China, you can still buy electricity for your house in Ghana. If you are in UK, you can still buy electricity for your house in Ghana. That doesn't exist in the United States or in the UK or in Canada. We have gone ahead of them in this as well. Today we can enroll on national health insurance on our mobile phone. It's very easy, very simple, and you don't need to go and pay a bribe or sleep outside the NHI office. So these are some of the things that I have been doing. Brought the idea of one constituency, one ambulance, Agenda 111, goal for oil policy. I can list at least about 33 different policy initiatives that I, as Vice President, have been able to bring to Ghana. And this is why I'm saying that if I have been able to do this in my limited position as Vice President, then if you, by your grace and your prayers and your support, if you make me President, I'll be able to do much more for this country. I'll be able to do much, much more for this country. I believe that the vision that I have for Ghana is a number of things that I want to do. First of all, I believe that agriculture should be our number one focus. Agriculture, farming, large-scale, irrigated, mechanized farming. We should invest a lot in agriculture and support our farmers. I think we should really get technology involved in agriculture, reduce the risk by doing more precision agriculture. So I want my government to focus a lot on agriculture. And when I say agriculture, I also include fishing in that whole context, right? So we should focus a lot in the support for our farmers and fisher folks. Secondly, I want to reduce the cost and then increase the reliability of electricity. We have dealt with this problem for a very long time, having problems with electricity generation. And the cost is also very high because we are relying on oil and gas to generate electricity. Oil and gas is also expensive. When there is a problem in the Middle East today, which has nothing to do with us, suddenly oil prices will go up. And then fuel prices go up, transport prices go up, food prices go up, and then we have a problem. So I want Ghana to move away from oil and gas and go for solar power. Solar power is the key to our freedom in terms of power generation. Because solar power is free. I mean, practically God has given us the sun free. We are even running away from the sun. But we don't have to pay to import the sun into Ghana. The oil we have to import it. The sun is shining every day. It's given to us for free. And so I want us to bring in 2,000 megawatts of solar power in the next 4 years. 2,000 megawatts means that is more than half our consumption. So if you take that and you add it to the Akosombo, then we will reduce the cost of power that we pay by at least 50%. At least 50%. And that will change everything, and we will make power very reliable. The days will not come when they say the sun is no longer shining in Ghana. We will always have the sun. This is a gift from God if we look at it that way. But I don't want us to just import solar panels to make solar power. I want us to set up the factories to make the solar panels in Ghana and create the jobs. 2,000 megawatts is a lot of solar panels. If we just import the solar panels, then we haven't done anything. We are going to have to do the manufacturing of the panels here. And so my team is beginning those discussions to make sure that we don't waste time when, by the grace of God, we get the opportunity to lead. We want to do the discussions now and know who are coming to set up the factories to manufacture the solar panels for us, and we will get it done. So that is very, very important for us. I also want to change the tax system of Ghana. Why do I want to do that? We've inherited this tax system from the colonial days, but it isn't helping us. GRA and so many businesses and individuals are always in fights over their tax liabilities. And our tax system is too complicated. Sometimes they will bring a tax bill to a business or an individual, and they don't even know how it was calculated. And they will tell you, if you don't pay, we'll shut down your shop. And they shut down many shops. And so I want a tax system that is easy to understand, very easy to enforce, easy to comply with. I had my team do the research, and we looked at all the tax systems in the world to see which is the most tax efficient and most tax competitive. We found that Estonia, the country of Estonia, was the most tax competitive country in the world. The last 10 years, every year they are number one. So I said, what is happening in Estonia? I took a team and we went to Estonia. Went to meet the president, the prime minister, the revenue authorities. We had a series of meetings. And I came back very convinced that Estonia, the model of Estonia, is a flat tax system. Flat tax. If it's 10%, everybody is paying 10%. There's no complication in that calculation. It's 10%. It's like when we go to church and we have to pay tithe. Right? The tithe is 10%, isn't it? Everybody knows how much it is. It's easy to calculate. Sometimes you don't even need a calculator to calculate the 10%. So Estonia has found that this flat tax system has really helped them and in making sure everybody is covered in paying the tax, because everybody knows that this is how much you have to pay. So you know your tax. There's no kululu in that matter. It's clearly defined. And therefore, next year, if by the grace of God I am president, we want to introduce the flat tax system. But to start it, I want everybody to start on a clean, fresh plate. Everybody to be on the same page. So next year, we will offer a tax amnesty to to all businesses, forgive all your taxes for businesses and individuals, and we will start on the same page for all businesses and individuals, so that we will get a lot of forgiveness. In fact, a few weeks ago, I went to the Vatican to have audience with His Holiness the Pope. And then after my meeting with the Pope, our Cardinal Peter Texan, who is there, took me around the Basilica to show me different parts of the Basilica. And when we were going around, there were some people doing some work somewhere. And I asked, what is going on here? Cardinal Texan told me, oh, we are making preparations for next year. It is the Jubilee year. I said, what is the Jubilee year? What does it mean? He says, well, this is the year where there's a lot of forgiveness in this year. I said, oh, that is good. Then that means 2025, I'm also going to forgive taxes in Ghana. And it is very consistent with the Jubilee year. So we will have that. And the tax amnesty will be a good injection to many businesses, because it will take off this burden of taxes that they are faced with at the moment, and it will really relieve them. And the next issue I want to deal with in our tax reform is our import duty regime. I found out that there is a problem that, maybe was inadvertently created over the years. There is no predictability in our import duty regime. You can import something and think that you are going to pay 10,000 cedis. When you get to the port and they give you the bill, it's 20,000. They will say, the exchange rate has moved, the valuation has changed. There is no predictability. So when they say it's 20,000 cedis, if you pay, when you get to the market, you increase your prices. If you cannot pay, they confiscate the goods, and they may sell it to somebody for 5,000 cedis. So we need predictability in our import duty regime. And therefore, the proposal I have is that we should reset our import duties by way of flat taxes in cities. Flat taxes at the port in cities. What does it mean? It means that if you are a spare parts dealer in Abosokai and you are bringing in spare parts for 40-foot container, you should know in cities how much the duty is. It's a flat rate. Say, for example, 20,000 cedis for a 40-foot container. No matter when the goods arrive, you are paying 20,000. That is it. You can plan that this is how much my duty is. If it's a 20-foot container, 10,000. You pay. There's no exchange rate matter. You are pricing in cedis. If it is rice, you are bringing in 40-foot container, this is how much it is. 20-foot container, this is how much it is. And so on. So we set it flat rate, because if you don't set a flat rate and the rates keep going up for the traders, they'll keep increasing the prices in the markets. So there will be an inflationary bias there. And so we want to change the current regime to a flat regime in cities, so that you will have predictability and you will not have all. The second area I want to change is to realign Ghana's import duties to the port of Lomé. Why do I say so? Because currently the Lomé duties are lower than ours. So because of that, people rather go and clear their containers in Lomé and smuggle the goods into Ghana. That's what is happening. And we don't get the duties for the revenue. So I have a simple solution to this, to bring a policy that says Ghana's import duty will not be higher than Lomé's import duty. We will be the same or lower. Immediately we do that, the smuggling will stop. It will stop immediately. And so those are the two reforms that I want to bring in the import duty regime, so that we can have. I also want a much closer relationship between chiefs and government. I think we have made a mistake as a country because we have sidelined the chieftaincy institution in the governance of our country. And we are paying a heavy price as a country in doing so. We don't have discipline in a lot of our society because the chiefs don't even have the power to summon people to the palace. It becomes a problem. And so there's no discipline. And I don't know how it has increasingly happened, but we have to go back and make amends. So I'm proposing a review and an amendment of Section 63D of the Chieftaincy Act. And this is what my manifesto committee is recommending also. That we amend Section 63D of the Chieftaincy Act and give more power back to the chiefs. Give more power back to the chiefs. That will help government. Because there are so many cases that come to court that should not come to court. They could have been solved in the palaces. But they rather go to court. They've clogged the court system. So we need to re-empower the chiefs, amending Section 63D, which will be a priority of mine. And then to be able to get the chieftaincy institution to really play its proper role, financially, the institution needs to be resourced. Because you can't give them responsibility without resources. So the recommendation that has come, which we are going to we put in the manifesto, is to make sure that we pay living wages to the chieftaincy institution. And by this, I mean the paramount chiefs currently is 1,000 cedis a month. Even to attend a meeting, it may not be enough for petrol. There is no payment for the queen miners. There is no payment for the divisional chiefs. And so we need to, living allowances, that they call it, to the paramount chiefs, to the divisional chiefs, and also to the queen miners. I think if we take that, we are empowered. Because if we don't do the codification, you will find so many chieftaincy disputes. Many need to codify it. So we are going to give the resources to the Judicial Council to be able to complete the codification of the lines of succession. And that will be very, very important for us. Because then you will know ab initio who is qualified and who is not qualified. There is a vacuum, a big lacuna right now, where everybody can just get up and claim. If you have money, I can come and claim your chieftaincy position and just create confusion, go to court for years and years, but you don't have status, you don't have a claim. So the codification right now is something that I'm going to really push for the House of Chiefs, all the judicial councils to help. And I just been told that the lawyers, acting president told me, mentioned that the lawyers don't have conditions of service, retirement packages, and so on. I hear that it's the Attorney General who appoints the lawyers. So I will be having a discussion because that also has to be rectified. With the nature of the work we want the House of Chiefs and the chieftaincy institutions to perform, we have to rectify all of that. Then another major area that in the area of chieftaincy that I want us to deal with is land. Land digitalization is very, very important. That we want to make sure that the ownership of the lands is clear. Because again, without clarity of the ownership, you have confusion. And that is the bane of the problem. That we should clarify, map, and all of that so that it's clear, so that you can know that if you go here and this is the land, this school has the land, and this is the place you have to go for title. We want it so that you can check on your mobile phone who owns the land. We need clarity. And that is very, very important. So the process of digitalizing that process will begin. and we will digitalize the land ownership. I know very, very well, acting president mentioned it in his statement. Greater Accra is a special case, actually, when you think about it, because as the acting president has said, the capital city, gateway, to this country, the seat of government, there is a problem, because hosting the capital city has costs for the people of the Ghana state. It has costs for the people of the Ghana state, because everybody is coming here, isn't it? The demand for land is higher than anywhere else, isn't it? So we have to look at it as a special case. We have to understand the issues that are here. So I have a committee which is being chaired by the Greater Accra Regional Minister to look into this issue for us. We need to, because there are a lot of land acquisitions that government has made that maybe are not being used for what they were acquired. We need to look at how we deal with all of those. The Ghana language, which may be dying in many places. Why? Because so many different people come in. And so how do we protect the Ghana language? How do we protect the Ghana language? Because it's a real issue of the institutions. Because everybody wants their child to go to a school here. Everybody is coming. Are the indigenous able to get access like everybody else? So I want this committee, which will finish its work very soon, to come up. We'll have a discussion with you. But there is a special case that we need to make for the Ghana state for hosting the capital. And the areas of land and language and culture and all of that. And I'm very, very aware of that. And we are going to deal with this issue with you, in consultation with you. We are going to deal with this issue with you. It's a major issue that we should do. Nime Name, it's very important that I make my views very clear on LGBTQ+. Our traditions and cultures don't agree with it. Yes. Our religion, whether it's Christianity or Islam, don't agree with it. So we will never agree to LGBTQ+ in Ghana. It's no, no, and no. No matter what the consequences are, we will hold firmly to our values. Our values, African values, our religion, our culture, we will not accept it. So I want to give that assurance to Nime Name that as president, there's no way that we will allow that in Ghana. There's not going to be anything like that in Ghana. I want to also say that my vision, my focus is going to be a lot on job creation. Jobs for the youth will be key. Agriculture is one area, tourism is another area, the creative arts is another growth pool for the youth. Sports, another growth pool for the youth. Digital skills. I want to train, because today you can sit in Ghana and work in the United States or in Australia. Once you have digital skills, you can on your laptop be working in foreign countries without even traveling there, but you are working every day. And the acquisition of digital skills is not meant for the people who have gone to school and gotten certificates in university. Even school dropouts, we can give them digital skills. School dropouts, as long as you can read and write, we'll train you to do coding, we'll train you to do software engineering and software development. It's practical. And so my goal is to train 1 million youth in Ghana in digital skills and give them opportunities to do, and we will get there very, very quickly. Amen. As I bring my remarks to a close, I say that there are a number of reasons why I believe you should support me, should pray for me to become the president of this country. I believe that if you look at my record as vice president, I believe most people will say that I have been the most impactful vice president in the history of Ghana. And if I've been able to be the most impactful vice president, it tells you that if you make me president, I will be one of the most impactful presidents as well. And then the important thing also is that I'm coming to you with the hope to be a president for 8 years. That's very important. I am hoping to be a president for 8 years. So after 4 years, I'll have to come back to the house and account for what I have done in 4 years. Before you give me a renewal of my license to drive the car for another 4 years. So with me, you will have accountability for 8 years. With my opponent, once you give him 4 years, he goes for honeymoon, you won't see him again until he hands over. There's no accountability. I'll be back for another term. And you ask me, what did you do with your 4 years? So I believe that I will be able to account for what I have done in that case. We are also moving into the digital age. The whole world is moving into the digital age. Ghana has to move into that digital age. And you see the things I'm doing to help us. I believe that of all the presidential candidates, I'm the one who is the best positioned to take Ghana into the digital age. I think that we have, before I sit down, let me say that we have heard and I've gotten a copy of the acting president's speech. We also had a small meeting before we came here, and as I look at your building, it's almost, frankly, shameful. Frankly, I think we need to do something about it, and I know that you have a whole good plan that is here, and we are contributing immediately for work to start, and we'll look at how we get the financing for the rest of it. It has to be done. So we are going to work towards it for you, but we are giving some money which President has already announced for something to start. I'm going to be focused on it. The second thing, President gave me a choice actually. Said the council, the House of Chiefs needed a bus, but also needed a building. So I should choose one. So I said, okay, let's start with the building. But on second thoughts, I think I'm going to buy a bus for you as well. So we are going to bring you the bus as well as soon as possible, so that it will help your work. I want you, honestly, to take me as your son. I'll be there for you. I will listen to you, I'll listen to your issues, and we'll work together. I believe we can work together. I'm there, not for myself, but for all of us. So please, pray for me, and may God bless you. I believe we'll be back again to talk, and I need your support. God bless you.
So, need acting president with your permission, we would like to have just 5 questions or 2 questions from our primaries, and then 3 other questions from NPP. Either questions or suggestions. So, first of all, give it to Nene Ajema.
Before that, with your kind permission, please, I think I want to introduce Honorable Ayiko, who is a former ambassador to Canada and former Attorney General and President of the Uganda Council. Thank you so very much, Mr. President.
Please, we are only allotted 1 minute to each person for the person.
Thank you very much. Me, Acting President, Your Excellency, the Vice President, the Flag Bearer of NPP, I want to suggest something. We have a privilege, some privilege to travel around the world. And if we take UK, for example, just as you mentioned, the dukes, the royals are part of the government. I want to suggest that accessing passports in our country, Ghana, is one of the most difficult things that one can talk about. We have the president of the regional house that only comes here to sit on cases, which of course doesn't bring much into the regional house. If it is possible that we can expand the passport offices and make the president of the regional house a signed passport for the region, and I'm not talking for Greater Accra region alone, but if it's possible that they can be practiced in all the 60 regions in Ghana, so that the president could be part of the governance. Because if I go to one and I can walk to the regional house here to access passports, it will be very easy for me to do that. Though we have digitized the passport accessibility, I still not appearance, to be very honest. My second suggestion is that we are aware that sooner or later the candidate is going to choose a running mate. I want to make a passionate appeal that if Kagame can be considered, and for that matter, a female, so that Nana men will also feel part of the government. I think that is enough. The last thing I want to say is to thank the government for the re-expansion of the Dodowa Adenta Road. Thank you very much.
Yes, one from here, one more.
Vice President, I wish you. Good afternoon, Mr. Vice President. My name is Nyaiwe. This is my question is with regard to the Jamestown. It is anticipated that the completion of the house is scheduled for September 2023. With the chiefs, the elders, chief chairman, and the community to visit the site both days in the previous years. The witness for ourselves and the progress of the work being done. The Chinese contractors assure us that the project will hopefully be completed as scheduled. We have been reliably informed that after the completion, the project will be handed over to the Ministry of Transport from the Post and Harbour Department. As custodian owners of the land, several attempts have been made by us to meet with the Minister of Transport, but no avail. The purpose of our meeting would have been to discuss the management, the running of the harbour after completion. We were eventually able to meet the mayor of Accra, who is here now, who assured us of the meeting, but as of yet, that has not taken place. The question I would like to ask is, will the chiefs, elders be included in the making of decisions regarding the management of the harbour? I am taking this opportunity to appeal to you, Mr. Vice President, for the government to include us, the chiefs, elders, the chief fishermen of Cape Town, to solve, to involve us in the management, decision making concerning the harbour. Honorable Private State, it is possible. Mr. Leader, come to our aid. We have a lot of problems, but this unemployment is one of them. Thank you.
Me, acting president, Your Excellency, the Vice President and Presidential Candidate. My name is Adebu Feifu, the last day. Our acting president has put out things that needs to be done for the Ghana people or the Ghana area. We know it will take a bit of time for them to reconsider. You've made us aware that you have commissioned some of your team members to work on some of the issues. But there are some of the issues that are currently going outstanding. Some have been concluded. You spoke about clarity when you visualize the plan. There are certain land issues that have been settled with utmost clarity, but some government agencies are being adamant or trying to let the rightful people or the beneficiaries have their land. A case in point is the land issues with the military. We engaged government on that. We had deliberations for years. We received executive approval from the president and the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces himself. I know, Your Excellency, you are the chairman of the Armed Forces Council, and you are very much aware of that. But as we speak now, the military is preventing the Lao people from having their land. Land that has been duly released to us with all documentations completed. So it is our humble appeal, knowing you as a peaceful person, to prevail upon the military to respect the law, because it makes all the work that we've gone through to come to naught. That with I don't want to go too hard, but I think we wasted our time for all those years, and the military will say they are not going to allow us to have the land, and it is even not in good taste for the president as the commander-in-chief, for his appointees, something that he has affirmed or approved, for them to say they are not going to go by it. and it is going to create tension between us and the military, which might extend to the government, which we wouldn't want. So it is our humble appeal again that we prevail upon the military. Just tell them the land people are coming for their land, and we want no impediment, since any impediment in our way will bring issues. This is what I'm trying to do. It's a humble appeal.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much. Digital Bawumia. I want to add my voice to what Ajima just said. On your selection of the mates, who's going to be your vice? I also appeal a Gagambi person should be considered and a woman such. So we are hoping and trusting in you that you nominate a woman to be your running mate. Thank you very much. A woman. Yes, or a man that we need a woman. Okay. Or a man from Ghana with us. A woman. Then
Thank you very much. I think the running mate matter is very hot. The suggestions are clear, and I will take them on advisement. I think that the questions have been very varied. The first one was on passports and accessing passports that has become difficult, even after digitalization. In fact, I'm very conscious of that. When we were doing the Ghana card, I asked for the passport application form just to make sure, because I was anticipating this, that all the questions on a passport application form are also found on the Ghana card application form. And we made sure of that. And so we are coming up, by the grace of God, next year with a new passport application policy for Ghanaians. If you have a Ghana card, you will no longer need to fill a passport application. You just give your Ghana card number, pay the fee, and they will print your passport for you. So because you have the biometrics, the pictures, everything, so that you don't go through all the hassle anymore. Get to the website on your mobile phone, use your Momo, pay for the fee, and they will deliver your passport for you to make it very easy for Ghanaians. So this is what we are going to do. The issue of the Jamestown Harbour, I'm going to direct the Greater Accra Regional Minister to bring the Transport Minister for a meeting, because I think that we've been trying to meet the Transport Minister without success. So I'll also be following up on it. Please have a meeting. It's very, very important that the chiefs are involved, informed about the how we're going to manage the Jamestown Harbour, and I think it's only in our interest for us to involve the chiefs. There is also the issue of the land issues. Niaje was talking about the settled issues, especially the live one that we all know about as far as land is concerned. This is under very serious discussion and consideration, and the Commander-in-Chief himself is very much aware of it and trying to see how we resolve it. It has to be resolved, and so we are working on it, and I think you'll be hearing from us. So it is a very, very important one. I think those are the key ones, apart from the two running mate questions that suggestions that came up, which are very, very strong. I want to thank all of you, and you'll be hearing back from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Acting President, Shibami, every of the new machine, Baba, Wapafai, Kuni, Obibe, the what they do when it's when you watch it. Or Madam is excellent in the many years, the friend work about Mambo with that president, all the parliament chiefs and in the Babia from there. When you one up, vice fair, it the Waka fight could be doing say. The Yakanibi Papa, the Yanka Gambia, the Ghana Fair, Unieva, the Wadon and Wadon.
Hello. Because of time, I will not like to bother anyone with a robot. I want to do something different as far as my grocery amount is concerned. But before that, what our ladies are requested a lady for your advice is all important to us. You said we must create a special region. This is the special region. The original House of Chiefs and all these members are telling you that Carrie's brother, do no sound. Though that back to that last night, there is a start to guide the humble. Trust in God and do the right.
Thank you very much. The acting. Please, from here, after the closing prayer, His Excellency will join our revered chiefs for the photographs. Yes, we'll make arrangements. So, shall we please call upon the Deputy Registrar once again for the closing prayer?
Merciful Father, we thank you for a successful meeting. Before we began, we called on you and you answered us. We are once again calling on you as we depart from this place. That you grant us traveling mercy to our various destinations. And we pray that the deliberations of